Off. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Um, gonna do a little bit of baseball mock drafting today. I don't really know much about baseball anymore these days, but we got into a baseball league this year, so we're gonna mock draft, get ourselves a little in the zone, figure out what the hell we're gonna be doing. But like my screen is all wah, wah. Anyway, let me pull it up real quick because the time limit's coming down on this. So, I play fantasy sports on Yahoo, and if you go into the daily sports things, you can find free tournaments that pay out cash. But it's free entry, so why not join it? I've yet to win any money, but there you go, mate. For basketball, right? Basketball kicks off in like 12 minutes. I got to set this lineup. So I also don't pay much attention to basketball. So we make this on the fly. And I don't think that's a terrible ranking. I'm in, just under 14,000th. I missed a couple rounds here or there. And I don't pay attention. Out of almost 55,000 entries, it's not terrible. But before we get to the baseball, let's just click this off because I only got a couple minutes. And you get to see my process of not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. All right, cool. You know what? Let's see here real quick. I'm gonna move this box here to, I'm gonna say, just right up in the middle top. I think that'll probably be a decent enough spot for it. I'm gonna pull up Twitch on my phone to see how that ends up looking. Don't mind me. Let's see. Hope this goes off quick because I have a couple minutes to make this lineup before it locks in at 7. That's the stream manager. We want that. We want to go to the actual stream if we can. So here we go. All right, pulling up on my phone. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, I'm paused up right here. I think it's gonna kick off in a second. Let's see. But anyway, I'm gonna jump right over back screen. Hopefully it worked out, and we put ourselves in a good position so you can actually see some of these players. So let's see. Luka Doncic, right ankle soreness, not on injury report. We're gonna leave him out of the lineup, even though he's usually pretty dominant. They have point guard. I think I kind of want to throw Trey Young. They're playing Golden State. It's a tough matchup, but we're gonna put Trey Young in at that point guard position. Now coming up to the shooting guard. Since we spent up for Trey Young there, we're going to have to spend down a little bit because he's an expensive salary. They give you budgets to work with. So you got a $200 budget. All the players, their salaries are what they're playing worth. So let's scroll down the list here. Right? So now we're getting down in this $13, $15 range. Not really match too well, but I'm going to say, honestly, Evan Fournier. I like to read notes when you're doing daily just to see what they're saying about him, especially if you're like me and you don't pay attention to the sport too much. When it comes to football, I do pay attention to football, so I'm a little more well versed in that aspect where I can find the guys who are gonna play well with their good matchups and not so much have to worry about what it shows in the little overviews. Like this is from 2 days ago, and it tells me a decent bit, but apparently he's not playing too well. If you click over to his game log, we could see what he's done in the past couple games, see how that goes. So he put up an average amount of points, which for his price range isn't too bad. I think we're gonna go for that. We're gonna try it out. Let's get over to the guard position next. I'm just going real quick down this list. I don't got much time to get this in. Now that I know the screen's working, wow, the chat's pretty delayed here. Maybe it's because I was just watching. I don't know. Jump in chat, talk to me, tell me what I'm missing out on. Let me know. That'd be great. So now we're jumping into the guards. You're mixing shooting guard and position. But like I said, because we paid up for training, so I paid down a little bit. Maybe not too low, but we want some money for that center, get that big guy. We're going to want to pay up for him. So Timberwolves are playing the Mavericks here. I don't know why, but Malik Beasley's name is popping out to me for some reason. Let's see what his game logs in the past couple game, see how he's been playing. Um, okay, so he's been on the court a decent amount of time, but yeah, I don't think that's the right one to go. Now Patrick Beverly is an interesting choice actually. Let's see, same team, but let's see how Beverly's been playing. Um, 9.3 of 7 from the field. This is okay. Spent half an hour on the floor, so he's getting good play time out there. It's not a bad thing. You got a guy playing a lot of minutes, so he's had a couple down games back there. I only played 9 minutes. I'm guessing some sort of injury. So we're gonna throw Patrick Beverly in the lineup, get him in there. We're gonna move down over to the small forward position now, and we're getting to 5 minutes left. So I'm gonna just rush through this and just start picking people, because that's kind of what has to happen now. You know what? For these positions, we're gonna skip ahead to center. We're gonna get a nice center going. I think we're gonna pay all the Embiid. There's not a bad option. Let's check out his last couple days. Let's see how Gobert's been playing. Fantasy wise, at least. I don't know. So he's up and down. We're gonna select him. I like the name. We're gonna go for it. So now let's get to small forward. Think Bay could have been a good option, but we're gonna stay away. We're gonna go down. Oh, not too far down though. Interesting choice. We might want to go with Kelly Oubre. I feel like the Hornets are on a roll. Here's one free shooting guy I want to choose. Yeah, we're gonna leave him alone. He's not putting up good enough fantasy points here. But let's check out Nia Abdija. How's he been playing for Washington Wizards? I know the Detroit. He's actually been doing decent. We're gonna add him for just $12 salary. It's not bad. We got $80 in budget. We got 3 positions to fill. We're gonna try to save a little bit for a utility player here. So we're gonna keep paying down a little here, the power forward and just forward in general. So I figure we don't want to go too far down. So let's get the big money spenders out of the way. We're gonna hit the utility position, and see who we can get in here. Who's gonna have like an explosive game? So if I were to spend 40, that leaves me with. If I spent $49, that would leave me with $31 to choose between a power forward and a forward. That's not going to be enough, so we're going to have to come down a little into the mid-30s. And I think, we already picked up, we pick up anyone. So I'm going to pick up Melo Ball. LaMelo here has been on fire, so I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to set him for now. $45 to deal with, so we're in the mid-20s range for 2 guys, or could drop down and do like a 12 and leaves us in the higher 30s. So that's a possibility. So down here, we're going to look at maybe the 13 range. So Golden State probably have a competitive game with Atlanta. Let's just check out Jonathan Kuminga. He fouled out a couple days ago, so he's out there playing. If he's able to foul out, that means they got him in the lineup. Let's see where his fantasy points are at, though. Yeah, it's not too bad. He's got his down games recently, but he's also got his up games, so we're going to go with that. And now we're $32 at just forward position. So we can just spend our cap and go say Miles Bridges. Or, you know what, we can end up landing Saddiq Bey here. Let's just got 1 minute left. Let's just check out what Saddiq Bey has been doing the past couple games. Going 3 for 13 trades doesn't sound too great, to be honest. Let's check it out. You know what, he's actually got some points along the board. Got a little down from where he's been, but we're in there. Let's check out the small forward again, because we got a couple dollars we could spend up to. I got a $5 budget open, so I could get up to 17 if I wanted to. You know what? I think I'm just gonna hope for the best. That's what I do every week with this stuff. So yeah, I think we placed it. I think we got the lineup in. It's telling me 55 seconds to start. Lineup edit. We're in. All right, cool. Great, people. We made that. So now let's get back to business. Let's get back to what we were looking at doing initially. So I just want to check some stuff out in this Twitch app. See where we're at. Let me see if I go in Stream Manager. I think I can get the chat room better. Yeah, so that we'll do rock out like that. Got any input? Let me know. Thanks for tuning in so far. Follow the channel if you're not already. Yeah, let me explain this baseball fantasy that we're gonna get into. I'll walk my way over to it. So let's get to baseball. So now, after I got into baseball just because I wanted to test the waters. I was feeling withdrawal from football. I need my fantasy fix. who doesn't? Once fantasy football ends, everyone kind of feels that hole in their heart. Fuck, ball's over, really? At least fantasy wise, you can always do daily, which is what I do to jump a couple dollar matches and play because I love it. And so I'm feeling the need for speed. It's like, so I jumped into base fantasy. I did a rotisserie league, and it was basically set your every day and pick up a player each day if you need to. Waiver wire, the way I had it. I'll say for about 800 goes down to me for this. Awesome. I thought, yeah, I'm good. Good luck, all this stuff. My left enough way. Get a amount of innings to play for pitchers, stick number of innings you play for other positions, shortstop, your base, first catcher, outfield. So I was just kind of making sure every day I had guys in my lineup, and guys who were playing well. So went to the end of the season and maxed out on playing every position across the board. Pitcher, catcher, first everything. Shut down. So I no longer could accumulate points to keep myself up or also keep myself from going down. So I was locked out, so like everyone else in the league opportunity to gain on me. Learn, that's what it was, you know. So this year I decided, let me try to lead with a head-to-head format. And oh, yep, someone texted. So with that, we're gonna set the draft up. It's Sunday night, watching that. But for now, it's practice. It's practice because you gotta get in the mindset of drafting. But at the same time, it's not much practice because I don't know who plays in this are. Last time I followed baseball was like early 2000s. You know, when the 13 year was still playing the game. Alex Rodriguez, Yankees. Pujols was initially in St. Louis. Big one. So a little difficult to jump to the sport with like 800 plus players to know all these names, who's good at what position, who's good for what. Because in baseball, you get your categories for head-to-head and other things. And so you get batting average, you get percentage, but I think standard would be batting average. You get your hits, your walks, your home runs, steals, pitcher strikeouts, your walks, hits, sprint pitched, ERA, and all that stuff. So you win these categories, and it's hard to know what players to pick. You know who plays the game. So you're just kind of sitting there looking at stats, and you get to know stats, but you kind of need to know matchups, who these guys are playing, and what's their opposition. Because without knowing that stuff, you're just going off of past performance, and that's not so helpful, to be honest. Like you look at Tom Brady throwing 4 touchdowns, you can be like, oh, Tom Brady, I'm going to play him next week. But that next week, he's going up against a defense that they're probably going to keep playing against the pass. So they're going to be running with Leonard Fournette more often. Brady's not going to have 4 touchdowns. Maybe he'll only have 1. And you played him, and it's just like, whatever. But honestly, when you're talking to Tom Brady, you're playing him every week. It doesn't matter. But another sport. We talk football later. And we will. But for baseball, we're going to find a mock draft, jump into mock draft today. And just get our feet wet, just in that mode of drafting. Because you got to set yourself up for drafting. Just get in the draft. Anything else. Alright, so let's get to it. Drafts, work hard, question mark, and money. So the league I run is going to be a 10-team league. So I'm just going to put a team here. I'm just going to put into a draft room. Yeah, waiting room. And so I don't know what position we'll be drafting from. So I'm going to go start with 8 since I could pick a moment. I'm going to go 8. I don't want to pick 5. I don't want to be in the middle of the draft. Just speaking off of my full drafting experience. Someone took it already, so I'm going to take my 10. I prefer being closer to the end, just to get turned around. When you're stuck in the middle, it's just like, okay, you get your pick, and I wait 5 more picks, and then you again, and then wait 5 more picks. So you could really put some good value out if you're drafting closer to the turn. And you get your pick, and then we'll get right back up, and you can fill the whole team, or get the players of value. If I have my 2 running backs already, and I'm going to go to full references, Ponce here, because that's what I know. We're just getting into this world. I'm going to probably fill the receiver position now that I can back. But if I see there is number 2 running back still there, coming out of my 3rd pick, I'll probably get him rather than going to get a top wide receiver. Because wide receiver is going to be a deeper position than the running back is. And running back is a related position just to find that high talent in the 3rd round. So I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to sit around and wait for wide receiver and let someone else get that high-end running back talent because injuries happen. And just in a running back position, it's very shallow that you get these workhorse backs. You got to draft for the value. If someone falls to you, regardless of the position that you need to fill. So that's probably, it's going to be harder for me to do that here with baseball because I don't know where value players lie. We're going to try. We're just going to go off of the grade that it gives me. Probably not see the grade that they give you. It's more skewed and it's based off more statistics rather than what you actually is going to happen. There's even like a C grade. Other people in the league are getting a draft grade. And win a league because the draft's only per battle. Drafts is part of fun too. Everyone knows fucking draft. It's like, oh, who's no, I guess I got him. You know, like that's going on, excitement. So drafts are level. The other third is roster managed through the season. And the last third of it is pure fun luck. Straight up. You can be however talented, expert, not expert, you're very well versed. You can call yourself an expert if you want. Go for it. I'm not an expert. I'm just knowledge. You know, like things change. You got to be able to change with them too. So round 1 is starting about 5 seconds to get into this. It's already started. So Yahoo shows the line across the line. That is coming up. That's when your next is coming up. So let's see how forward. I see a lot of turn 1 Soto. Okay, yeah, so it did just turn on first. 1 second. So clearly people are going for top hitters at the beginning. Next coming out, we've got Jose Ramirez, 3rd baseman, and we got Guerrero. Everyone hit so far here. Haven't seen any pitchers go off the board. Obichez, shortstop. So I'm looking at Mookie Betts. He's got second base and outfield eligibility. If you ask me, there goes Garrett Cole and Corbin Burns starting pitchers. He's available. I like the idea of going Betts because you dual eligibility and top guy. So real quick, let's see what's up with him. We're gonna strap him. We're gonna now Shohei Ohtani. I think we're gonna go for him too. Apparently they've listed out battle workers, but no, it didn't have it all the time. We're gonna use the new deal for him, so when pitches he still won't be in the lineup. So I'm gonna go with Ohtani here. He's just like he's the base of this like amazing apparently. You know, he can business, he hit like nobody business. So that's where we went. We went to Nets. So we're gonna do next. Shane Bieber could probably fall to us. If not, I'm looking at getting Julio Urias. That might be a thin decision. This is a mock draft, though. It doesn't mean, but we still want to build our best, put maximum effort in because it's just gonna be for Sunday when we again the real draft. And I'm suspecting at this point, people are gonna start out after the first couple rounds, get out, just to see myself make a complete team. If you guys have any input as to who I should draft, there's a little bit of delay here, but to get in, maybe I could adjust my pick as they come. But for now, I think I to us. So it looks like Shane Bieber got drafted. He did. So I guess we're seeing at Julio Urias. So we could get Giolito too if Urias is taken. His lines come up and down economy is crazy. But I don't know. Maybe we might end up just double tapping on starting pitcher, try to get two in the hole to match the stud hitters, and the rest of the lots kind of down. But yeah, look, Giolito. So we're gonna get Julio Urias, and we can go to Arnola down here. We got second base in outfield and utility slot. The question is, do we want to go Francisco Lindor? Lindor might not be a bad option. He's semi-stolen base. There's decisions. We're gonna go for Arnola. Get a couple of pitchers in the bullpen here. Well, not the bullpen, start lineup. So this moves so slow. I guess because I got streaming software too. I'll be plugging in the laptop. The juice will let it work quicker. So coming up next, we're back to hitters, and Robbie Reyes was out there. Speak of the devil, just got snagged. I picked him up last year, and he was phenomenal for me. But from what I hear, is just that he's a little wild, and last year was just kind of like a real crazy starting pitcher to be one of these basically flex positions. That wouldn't be bad. I believe. I think that's a route that I'm willing to go for. Um, but now Liam Hendricks is only projected to pitch 70. He's a relief pitcher. I'm sorry. So we're looking at closers here now. That actually might not be bad. I might try to pull in a closer. Um, is he still there? Yeah. So I have a choice of him. I think if I make it to him, I think that's a thing I'm willing to take. I'm willing to go for that relief pitcher, just to get a nice guy in the bullpen. And then I'm thinking going Jose Altuve, second base. That's a big bat right there. So he's got solid batting average. Yeah. So Hendricks was stayed there for us. So we're gonna grab him, and we're gonna pull up these stats on Altuve. We're not because someone just took him. So it's back to us already. Um, I really don't know where to go with this. Might go JD Martinez. That's a name that I know. That's really how it's gonna happen. It's just like names that I know. So yeah, clock's winding down. We're gonna go with JD Martinez. Get him into an outfield spot. Um, Now we're gonna come back down. We're gonna look for some pitchers. Like let's look at a starting pitcher. Let's check out Charlie Morton. How did he do last year? Pitched 185 innings. That's a good amount considering everyone gets pulled by the fifth fucking inning. His ERA is a little north of 3, and his WHIP's just over 4. Um, it's not the worst. Let's see, Logan Webb. How's he at? Yeah, he's just about the same, but with a lot less innings pitched here. I know last year I had Bregman in the lineup. Gaussman, I had him on the team last year. Someone just drafted him. So we got a few picks until it's our turn again. Joe Musgrove, it wouldn't be a bad option if he lands to us. And then also kind of want to, if we could get Nolan Arenado, that wouldn't be too bad. I know his stats came down a little because he was in Colorado, and so the ball just flies out of the park there. So he wouldn't be a terrible guy to hit the corners on third base. Let's check out Charlie Morton because the Braves, I think, are still contenders. So depending on who falls to us, thinking Charlie Morton or Joe Musgrove. They're probably pretty comparable with each other, but I'm leaning more towards Charlie Morton on this one. There's Giancarlo Stanton out there, but we're going to leave him. I wonder, how did he do last year? He actually did decently, not going to lie, for him always being an injured player. So now We got 7 picks till we're up again. La, la, la. It's Jose Barrios. How did we check him out? He's 192 pitched. He had 200 Ks. And he's just over a 1 whip, 3.5 ERA. I like Charlie Morton a little better. Um, Assuming Acuna is going to help out when he comes back in Atlanta. So, and it looks like someone took Musgrove, someone took Arenado. So now, when the pick comes to us, we're definitely going to go for Charlie Morton if he's available. If not, I think Logan Webb's going to be our next option up, or Jose Barrios. So we can get Charlie Morton. We're going to go for it. Now, we need to get some more hitters back because we've got 2 starting pitchers, another pitcher, and a reliever. We need some bats on the team. I'm going to stay away from Bregman this year. I don't know why, but I'm just going to do it. I don't know where to go here, really, to get a bat. Yu Darvish is still out here. Yu Darvish actually had a great season last year. His ERA blew up towards the end of the season. But, you know what? I'm tempted to hit Bregman again. He actually had a really down year. Let's do it. Let's draft Giancarlo. Let's think. I think the Yankees bats could come alive. It's possible. He made it through the season relatively unscathed, so maybe he's turned a corner. Him and Judge could be the Bash Brothers. So, how's our lineup looking over here? So we need a catcher, but we're past catcher positions at this point. There was a couple guys I liked last year. Carson Kelly, he was good. I believe Stevenson was a catcher. Let's pull it up here. Let's see who these catchers are. JT Real Muto, and he's got first base eligibility too. Wilson Contreras I had drafted. He was doing good. I traded him away, which didn't hurt too much. Yeah, there's Tyler Stevenson down there. So there's a lot of catchers out there that I'm just going to hold off and wait on that position. If you're not getting one of the top catchers, they're really all kind of the same. You don't need to jump on them. It's just like a fucking tight end in football. If you're not getting Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, even though Waller kind of didn't do as well as the start of the season went, they're all pretty much the same, you know. They're 3 for 30, and if you get a touchdown, they did good that week. So basically, tight end, not named Travis Kelce, you're waiting for a touchdown every week. So we need some bats back here since we did decent with pitching. So we got 3 starters. We got 1 reliever. Depending on what relievers at the top of we're basically just going off the average draft position board here. It's not the best thing to do that, but it's kind of what I'm reduced down to since I don't have the knowledge of these baseball players. But that's all right. I'm having fun with it. Build a roster and you work with it throughout the season. You make trades, have some fun, shake shit up. So now, looks like Justin Verlander's out there to be pitching again. But I want to know who these relief pitchers are. So let's check out the relievers that are out there. It was looking like Emmanuel Clace is up towards us, and it's not a bad ERA. These are his projected stats. So yeah, last year he actually did pretty solid last year. Projected to do better this year. We're gonna go for him. We're gonna pull that reliever in. Now we're gonna get back to all positions because we need first base, third base, shortstop. We could go with Carlos Correa out here. That's not a terrible decision. He seems to have been traded to the Twins or moved to the Twins. Now Jorge Polanco, He had 33 homers last year. It's not bad, but JT Real Muto. We're going to go with Jorge Polanco on this one, I think. Yeah, because someone took Correa anyway, so Polanco it is. So we just shored up second base, shortstop. So we got Mookie Betts can move in between second and outfield. Got Polanco who can move in between second and short. So that's helpful. It's nice to have dual position eligibility because we have two outfielders here already. So now we potentially do have a third, and then Polanco slots into our second base slot. And now we're still kind of looking for a shortstop. So speak of the devil, the guy who I was interested in going for is still out there, Dansby Swanson. He had a pretty decent year last year. He was on my team, and that's why I know he had a decent year. It was helpful most of the season for me. So I'm going to go for him if he's still out there come my pick again. Because I can move players around with the dual position eligibility. That's very helpful. Always keep an eye out for the dual eligibility. If I said that right. But we'll see if he's still there when it comes back around to us. He's getting close to our projected line of drafting, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. So we've got two relief pitchers here. We've got three starters. So I think we're gonna focus in on offensive players here. We could wait out on the catcher position. First base we kind of let slip a little bit too, but Dansby's there for us, so we're taking Dansby. And now let's check out the first baseman. CJ Cron, that's not a terrible choice considering he's playing in Colorado and those balls fly out of the park. So we're gonna go with Cron. DJ LeMahieu's out there too. That could be a decent decision. We're gonna go with Cron for now. We get the first baseman. I'm going to star LeMahieu just because he's got first, second, and third eligibility. And yeah, so if he comes back to us, we're going to go with LeMahieu. Just because he's got a decent bat. You know, he's batting .268 last year. They're projecting him a little better. His home runs were down. Yeah, he actually didn't do too great last year looking at it, but it's a new year. We could see who else is in that third base room that's available for us. Okay, I mean, he's projected to have the highest average out of everyone, but let's see out of who's left, who had better 2021. Yeah, it kind of looks like him, like Ty France. He played a little bit better, to be honest. 166 hits. He had more hits. He had one more run. He had 8 more homers. He had a lot more ribbies. No stolen bases, but a better average. It's not bad, but for such closely related stats, I'd rather go LeMahieu for the multi-position eligibility. Probably a better way to do it. Then you also got here Ryan McMahon, who's got more homers, more stolen bases, but still not too far off. His average is low too. So we're going to sit on LeMahieu here, see what happens when it comes back to us. You see on the left there's 1, 2, 3. There's a few people already left the draft because most people only want to draft the sexy top guys and see where these people land and be done with it. But we're out here doing this for practice. Try to see some of these names before it happens, the real draft. And we're basically just going off stats, but it's better than nothing. At least we're not going in blind. So now there's Austin Meadows out there. What's that? Okay. So they agreed to a contract. So he's probably going to be playing decent to get himself out of Tampa Bay. Um, Decent choice, to be honest. What pitchers do we have here? So we're pitching out of the Dodgers, the Phillies, relievers in Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Indians, and we got a Braves pitcher. Um, so Austin Meadows just got drafted before us, so we're gonna go with LeMahieu, fill up one of those offensive positions. So we're pretty much have fielded a starting lineup at this point. We're just missing another catcher and another outfielder. So I'm gonna say we're gonna go for a pitcher here. The question is what pitcher. So Sonny Gray got it blown up last year with his ERA. Only pitched 135 innings. Miami's not a place I want to get a pitcher out of. Detroit, no. I think we're going to go for Sonny Gray here. It's a mock draft, so it doesn't mean too much. But we're going to get another starting pitcher in our ranks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 starting pitchers. So we're pretty full up on starting pitchers, I think. Maybe we'll get another one towards the end as like a dark horse. A little sleeper guy. Soler is someone I'm interested in possibly. He came through last year, but looks like he's on the Marlins now. Last year he was with the Braves, so the downgrade on teams, so that's going to bring him down with it. Maybe we go for Wilson Contreras at the catcher position. It's possible. Gallegos, he might be someone worthwhile pitching out relief in St. Louis. We could go for it. Why not? So maybe we'll grab another reliever. See Joey Votto down here. What's that? Launches his first spring homer. So he's 38 years old, and he had one hell of a campaign last year. I had him, dropped him, and I wish I kept him, but it is what it is. Well, someone took Gallegos. So there goes that reliever. So what's out here? We could go Soler in the outfield. It's not a bad decision. I don't know what else is out here. Alex Verdugo. He had 544 at bats. He had more at bats and had a much better average. So you know what? Jared Kelenic, no. So yeah, we're gonna go back to Verdugo. We're gonna get Verdugo in the outfield. And now when we come back, kind of want to get a reliever. Let's see, because I did Roto. I didn't have a lot of these guys, but I saw a lot of their stats throughout the year. And I know he's pitching in Arizona now, not Milwaukee, but Melancon was a killer for me last year. Definitely want to try and snag him because I'm looking down the list and I'm not seeing a lot of names that I remember from last year. Will Smith. Will Smith did great things last year for us. But we're going to go with Melancon when we get back to it. There's Severino too. But he's struggling already. No thanks. We're going to sit there. It's spring training. I get it. The guys are struggling, just warming up, but it's not what you want to see. So let's get back to the catcher position since we've yet to pick a catcher. I like the idea of Carson Kelly. I think last year he was a rookie. He was splitting time in Arizona, but he was doing really well. The 240 average ain't bad. Stevenson was a 286. Let's compare the two here. So, we're already looking at these stats. So let's see. Stevenson put up 100 hits to Kelly's 73. They were both splitting time too. Kelly had more home runs. Stevenson had better, and Stevenson can go first or third. So we already have a couple guys who could go first base. Um, Tyler Stevenson doesn't seem like a bad option to slot in there. Carson Kelly could be a good backup too. I don't want to go Gary Sanchez. The Yankees just got rid of him. When the Yankees are getting rid of players, it's probably not someone you want to pick up, just in my experience of knowing the Yankees. They only want the best on their team, and if you're not up to par, they're getting rid of you. So clearly it doesn't always work that way, but that's just the way my mind is thinking about it. And yeah, so I'm torn here between Stevenson or Carson Kelly. I might end up just drafting both of them. One is the backup, you know. Sean Murphy actually did really well towards the middle of the season last year, but the Athletics, I believe, are in a fire sale. So we're going to go Stevenson first. He's just ranked higher than Carson Kelly, and I don't know if anyone's going to end up drafting Carson Kelly. So we're there. So we're looking at I don't really even know, to be honest. Robbie Grossman didn't do too bad for a point last year, and he could be a stolen base guy, so we'll just go for Grossman. Let's go back to these projected stats. Doesn't really mean much, but let's see. We're in this range. What do we got left? We still got a pitching slot to choose and then some backup pitchers. So I've got the two relievers and a third. I think we're going to go for another reliever. Get a fourth reliever in our bullpen. And I think that's going to be Will Smith, just because I had a good taste left in my mouth from him from last year. So I think that's a place we want to go with it. Matt Barnes, what do they got to say about you, Matt Barnes? Struck out the side against the Braves. If we seemed destined for the rotation, but even with Whitlock probably opening in the bullpen, Barnes will likely get a chance to seize the closer role in early going. Stellar for 4 months last season before losing it down the stretch. Maybe Barnes is a way to go here. Barnes over Will Smith. Barnes lost it down the way, they said. He put up just a little less strikeouts than Will Smith. Had a hell of a lot less saves. A couple more wins. And also pitched less innings. So I like Will Smith over that, to be honest. So we're going to sit on Will Smith here. I'll put him in the queue here. Use the queue up in the corner when you want to go back and forth all the time. Set up guys to just easily jump over to. But I could go over that more in depth during a football draft because I know what's going on with these players. Here I'm just kind of running like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to pick players, not even knowing what positions I have picked or not picked. So, yeah. Baseball is a scramble for me. I'm not going to lie. This is my pick. We're just going to draft Will Smith. Our first basemen, we have Crone, LeMahieu, Stevenson's got a chance. I don't want to touch anyone from Baltimore, to be honest. So, real quick, let's look down here. Eugenio Suarez. 138. Yeah, let's go with Alex Wood. Why not? I don't know. That was a panic pick, to be honest with you. Um, oh, I didn't even get him. Who the hell did I get? Oh, I got Carson Kelly right out of my queue. That's all right. That's not bad. I'll take that. Um, so let's go back to where these guys were. We're looking at Kyle Hendricks here. Pitched 181 innings, a 4 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. And Alex Wood, 138 innings. So Hendricks just got taken anyway, so that makes that decision a little easier. Jesus Aguilar I think he was doing pretty decent last year at some point, first baseman, but that's okay. We need some pitching depth. It's already my turn to draft. That means like everyone's left to draft. Let's go with Alex Wood. Why not? Pitching in San Francisco could be a decent spot for a pitcher. You know, those cold San Francisco Bay nights, that ball just does not go as far. Unless Barry Bonds is at the plate, and that ball fucking goes far. Yeah, they need to vote Barry Bonds in for real, for real. It's my pick. You know what? Greinke went back to the Royals, and he hurt me towards the end, but we're gonna pick him up. And now we're stuck left with one player left to pick. We're just gonna pull up the batters. Charlie Blackmon ended up hurting a little last year, but